All right. Good evening, fight fans. How's everybody doing today? We are live. Let me get this, make sure this is right. UFC 292, UFC Boston this weekend. We're live. I'm going to give you some picks. We're going to talk about some news. And we're going to have lucrative MMA on here in a minute. Let's go. Let's check it out. How's everybody doing? Good evening. Good evening. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, one? What's up, Sloomy? How are you, Mito? I'm good, man. Good. Doing real good. How are you? What's up, Sloomy? Let's get this thing cranking. Do you think Segundas wins? I don't know. What do you think? Sean, what? TKO 3, huh, Fabian? I like it. I like it. Main event. Let's see. Here's who I got. I've got. Hold on one second. RP. We're going to get lucrative MMA on here, and we're going to talk about our UFC 292 picks. Sugar, Aljo, Moneyline. Let's go.
Yes, yes.
It's
You're right,
time.
Chris?
We're back. Did you miss us?
What's up, brother?
Hey, brother. I think they missed us last week, James.
Yeah, man. I missed everybody as well. Hopefully, everybody made a lot of money on their bets. I had a losing weekend last weekend, so I didn't make much money. So hopefully, we can bounce back in a big way this weekend.
You're damn right. You're damn right. You will bounce back. For the last 4 years, you're up almost, what, 380 units in the last
Yeah.
4
Yeah, 380 units in just less than 4 years, which is all third-party tracked. So I cannot fake my record. All this is tracked on an independent service, and we have one of the best MMA gambling services and records in the world. There's not many people who are up almost 400 units in less than 4 years. So we've got one of the best services in the world, and I'm going to continue to keep pumping out these winning weekends. We can't guarantee profit on one singular specific weekend, but I can almost guarantee profit long term.
That's right. And the proof's in the pudding. Third party tested it. That's James with Lucrative MMA. Let's get into UFC 292, aka UFC Boston, aka Let's Fight in 2 days.
Great.
What do you got?
Event. Great event. Chris,
Great.
I can't wait for this event. Seems like we've been having some decent events in the UFC in the last few weeks, you know. I don't know how many weeks we've had on a roll, back-to-back weekends, but I honestly can't remember the last time we had a off weekend on the UFC. Can you?
It's been 6 months. It's been a long time. It's probably been last year.
It's been a long time for sure, man. And I just checked the record, and like for the next 7, 8 weekends, we've got UFC events every weekend. So it's like, you know, I can't complain. It's a lot of work for me, you know, studying and analyzing these fights, but I can't complain because it's every event is an opportunity to make money, and I love making money, man. So hopefully we can do it this weekend. Big event. One of my favorite fighters is fighting Amanda Lemos. I've loved that girl from when she stepped in the UFC. She's got the power of a man, but she's a woman strawweight, and she's fighting for the belt finally. So I'm excited for that personally, but then I also have lots of bets on the card, so I'm excited for all of those and hopefully make some money.
Will you? No, I've seen your post about Lemos. Will you make multiple bets on that fight or just one?
At the moment, I've got 2 bets locked in on that fight. I
Okay.
may add a third, but although she's my favorite fighter, I don't bet on her for that reason, right? I may even have bet against her this weekend. Who knows? If you want to know, you might have to pay to find out. But what a lot of people get misconstrued in gambling is that they often bet with emotion. They bet with bias. They bet on their favorite team. Oh, I love Sean O'Malley. He's a great he's one of my favorite fighters, so I'm gonna bet on him, right? But that's a silly thing to do. You can't bet with emotion. The people who lose money gambling is 99% of people. Gambling is not good for 99% of people. And it's because those people, first of all, they don't know how to gamble, but a big majority of them gamble with their emotions. The 1% who win money long term from gambling, and there are hundreds of thousands of professional gamblers in the world, but they're in the 1%. We don't bet with any emotion. And so a lot of times, there's a lot of fighters this weekend who are fan favorites. Weili Zhang, Sean O'Malley. I don't know if you lost me there, but the whole point I'm trying to make is that there's a lot of fighters this weekend who are fan favorites. Be careful betting on your favorite just because you like them. Bet on them because there's value on the line. That's a very important distinction that casual gamblers and professional gamblers have to make.
Now, I totally understand what you're saying because a few years ago, before we met, we met many years ago, but during that time that we weren't talking,
Yeah.
I made bets, and most of the time, I bet my emotions. I think I made a Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier bet. I lost on that. Of course, Dustin won. I'm a big McGregor fan. I bet on Izzy versus Pereira, and I lost that one. I'm a huge Izzy fan. And now, I don't make my bets depending on who I like. I make them on, the stats and the numbers and, the matchups and who's been injured and the referees and all these different all this different information we have before a fight, and that's how I base my fights. That's how I base my fights.
Yeah, and that's the way you have to do it, man. And most people don't do it like that, and that's the reason why most people lose money. So it's no surprise.
So let's get into how some of these fans on our network, our MMA Uncensored network, and of course your lucrative MMA betting and your personal page. Let's let these guys, in on, maybe something that they could, make a couple bucks in this weekend. And guys, remember, a unit, when James and I talk about units, a unit for me and you could be $5. A unit for a professional gamble could be $1,000 to $5,000, and it just depends. I mean, you may have $50 a weekend to spend, where James has $50,000 a weekend to spend, where I have 500 or 1,000 to spend. It just depends on how much money you have, to put towards a bet, if you want to bet.
Yeah, exactly. Units are a way of leveling the playing field. If I tell someone I'm betting $1,000, that might be their whole bankroll. That might be their whole allowance. But for me, it might be a small portion. So we have to level the playing field. So this weekend, Chris, there's many fights that we could take a gamble on. And one of the ones I want to give, it's always tough giving out free picks because it's like I bet 10 picks a weekend, and on the stream I'm going to give out 2. Those 2 might lose and the other 8 might win. So I don't like giving out free picks for that reason. And also it encourages short-term mindset, like, oh, it's one free pick. But
change it up.
That's what the people want, right? That's what the people want. That's what the people want. So, yeah, I understand. That's what people want. So I'm going to give some free picks out. It's fine. And you know me, I'm not one of these people that come in and give free picks out and give the biggest underdog on the biggest favorite on the card. I'm not going to tell you Brad Tavares is going to beat Chris Weidman. He's a minus 300 favorite. He's one of the biggest favorites on the card. I'm not going to say that. It's boring, right? I'm going to give you underdog. I come on here and I give you underdogs. I give you slight favorites. I give you fights where the other guy is expected to win, and I'm saying, no, this guy's going to win. So I'm going to do that again here, right? One of the fights that I'm going to give out, I'm going to give an underdog pick out on. Bearing in mind, underdog, they hit a lot less often than favorites, right? But when you make a lot more money. The first fight of the night, we have Marina Moroz versus Karine Silva. Now, this is a rematch, right? These girls fought about 5, 6, 7 years ago, whenever it was. Marina Moroz was 23, Karine Silva was 21. Marina Moroz submitted her with an armbar within 2 minutes.
I remember.
And now they're rematching 5 years later at the UFC level, and Marina Moroz, the person who won the first time, is an underdog. She's not favored to win. They think the other girl is going to get a revenge win over her. So then we look into the matchup and we go, okay, why do the bookmakers think that the same thing's not going to happen? Why do they think that the opposite's going to happen? Why do they think that now, this time, Marina Moroz is going to lose? Well, you go into Karina Silva's career, and since that fight, she has dominated. She had lost a couple of fights, I don't know if you remember that one, Chris. Tore apart her knee, The girl was screaming. Ketlin Souza was. I don't know if you lost me there, but
No,
the girl was.
yeah.
The girl was absolutely screaming, and she tore her knee apart, and it was a very, very brutal finish. So Karina Silva is an animal. She gets a lot of submissions on the ground, and she's got a lot of power on the feet. But she's coming up against a brick wall in Marina Moroz. And why I say brick wall is because Marina Moroz has never been finished. And it's not like she hasn't fought bums. She's fought this girl before, ended up finishing her, but they was young. We'll forget about that. She's fought Myra Bueno Silva, who just finished Holly Holm in the second round via ninja choke. And she's a very, very dangerous finisher at the UFC level. And she defeated her via decision. Didn't get submitted against her. She's also beat Maria Agapova, who is very well known to be an early runner, a front runner, a good finisher, even at the UFC level. And she beat her. So Marina Moroz has proven time and time again that not only is she tough at defending submissions and she doesn't really get knocked out or wobbled, but she also wins fights at the UFC level at a consistent basis. So for me, I think the line is off. I'm not saying that this is 100% a pick that is going to win. I never say that with almost any picks, and I definitely don't say that with underdogs. But Marina Moroz looks to me like the better fighter. She's got the better striking. In my opinion, she's going to be able to defend some submissions, and she could even get a submission of her own. I honestly believe that. So Marina Moroz's submission is like plus 700, which is kind of crazy considering that she already submitted this girl once upon a time, and this girl's been submitted after that as well. Marina Makatina submitted her in the first round. So yeah, man, I like Marina Moroz. I'm going to give that out as an underdog pick, plus 120. Ben Swift is saying, do I feel that the odds are the wrong way around? And yeah, I do. Exactly. I'm not saying that Marina Moroz should be minus 900, and minus 900 means she's going to win the fight 9 out of 10 times. I'm not saying she's going to win it 9 out of 10 times. I'm saying she's going to win it 6 out of 10 times. But if you compare it to the odds are saying she's going to win it 4 out of 10 times. So that's a big difference there. And that's why we bet, Chris. We don't bet because we're saying this guy's going to win every single time they fight. If they fight over 100 times, she's going to win 100 times. No. What we're saying is that what the odds are indicating are incorrect because the odds have an implied probability behind them, right? If you bet on a plus 1,000, it's not the same as betting on a minus 400, right? It's completely different. So, yeah, I mean, I could go into this fight all day, but basically, I think that Marina Moroz should be the favorite, and she's the underdog, so I'm betting on her this weekend. I've already got the bet locked in. The line's moved down a little bit, but I already have a bet locked in on her, and I still think there's value at any plus number on her.
Any plus number. Now, Marina Moroz, she's from the Ukraine, and she recently did a Playboy.
Yeah.
Yes, so there's a little background on Marina Moroz for you gents. I know you guys get a little, back and forth with these bets, but go check out Marina Moroz's Playboy and maybe drop a couple of hundies on her.
Yeah. Some people say that there's something called the OnlyFans fade, right? And because Marina Moroz has OnlyFans, and what that means is you fade any fighter that is doing OnlyFans instead of fighting, right? And that it's just a bit of fun, right? I mean, to some degree, I feel like it does work on some fights. Marina Moroz may be doing OnlyFans, but I think she's a very solid fighter. I go on what I see in the cage, and in the cage, she's an animal. So I think she's got a good chance this weekend.
Absolutely, and there's your freebie for the week, Marina Moroz.
Yeah,
pick her up. Want to run over the fight card real quick? We'll hit the prelim over a couple. So we'll start with the main event. Now, I'm just going to go over this, make sure nothing changed. Let's just hit on something real quick, James. The All-American Chris Weidman versus Brad Tavares.
Yeah.
That's the prelim. That's going to basically be from where the prelims end and it rolls into the pay-per-view, where you sign up.
Yeah.
Chris Weidman's not too happy about that place on the card. Now, let me just run over the main card and we'll get into a quick discussion before we talk about some more picks. Let's see. You got Chris Weidman at the top of the prelims, and it rolls into the main card. You got Chito Vera versus Pedro Munoz.
Great fight.
Now the main card, they lost the Garbrandt fight. Do you know who's in there now? Batista is going to be fighting on the prelims.
Yes.
that one's gone, and you got Neil Magny that steps up on 10 days notice or so versus Ian Gary, right? Ian Gary's making a lot of noise on the press conference. You got Wheelie Zhang, and then you got Amanda Lemos title fight, and then you got Aljo versus Sean O'Malley. That's the big one. That's the main event, and there's your main card. But I just wanted to touch on real quick. Chris Weidman's pissed off about not being on the main card, and I get it, because this really could be his last fight, right, James? If something goes wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it makes sense. I mean, he definitely could have been over Batista and Blacksmith.
Yeah,
Someone's already said that in the chat. I mean,
right.
Batista, he was meant to be fighting Cody Garbrandt, so I understand why he had that main card slot.
Right.
But once Cody Garbrandt got pulled and they put Blackshear on a couple days' notice, they should have switched Weidman to the main card.
Right.
At the end of the day, man, he needs to be worried about the fight because it's a tough ask coming back at 39 years old with a life-shattering
infection, and it was a while, James.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that as well. Yeah.
So it never healed properly. So they had to go back in there, clean it out, and I mean, absolutely brutal. You know, I'd like to say a couple things real quick. Big props to Chris Weidman, big props to Anderson Silva, and huge to Conor McGregor that's coming back soon.
Yeah.
I mean, these injuries are gnarly, man.
Yeah.
Chris Weidman, I believe, was a compound fracture where it actually came out the skin. I don't know if Conor McGregor's did that, but of course, you know, we saw Anderson Silva's. I think it's more about the fighter coming back and proving to himself he can do it again, James, rather than saying, damn, I'm going to go on a winning streak and win a title. I mean, I think that would be my mentality, and I can relate to some of these fighters. What do y'all think?
The thing is, that's what he's saying, though. Like, he's saying that he's going to make a run. Didn't he say, like, a couple of fights he's going to be in the title picture? I mean, I guess on one hand, you have to believe that, because otherwise, why are you even fighting? Like, if you don't think you're the best in the world, you're probably going to get knocked out brutally, right? You have to have that almost delusional self-belief to make it to the top sphere of anything in life, and most certainly with fighting. So I guess he kind of has to say that, but at the same time, that delusion can come back to bite you in the ass, especially in 4-ounce gloves. And I know Brad Tavares is not the best fighter in the world in terms of where he is at now. I do think he's a little bit past it, but he's still competing with Dricus du Plessis a couple of years ago. You know, I know he got knocked out brutally in his last fight, but he's got very good takedown defense. I just don't think it's a good matchup for Chris Weidman, man. So I'm definitely picking Brad Tavares in that fight. And look, this has been a great chat. I really want to chat for a long time, but unfortunately, I got 2% battery, and for some reason, this charger's not working correctly. So I'm gonna have to shoot off in a minute, Chris. But I did wanna give one more bet out for the people.
Yes.
You know, I'm a man of the people at the end of the day, man. And like, you can go to lucrativemmabetting.com and sign up for my service and get all of my sports betting training videos. You got training courses, which it's not really available anywhere else on the internet, but I teach you how to bet on MMA and how to bet on sports. Or you can just listen to my free picks here and get 2 picks. Or you can go to my website and get about 20 picks every single weekend. But the other pick I want to give, I've already given underdog. Now I'm going to give a favorite. Marlon Vera. I like Marlon Vera this weekend. He's about a -185, -200 favorite. So I think he's not a massive favorite. I think he should be even bigger. I think he's going to hurt Pedro Munoz here. Pedro Munoz, in my opinion, is on a downstroke. I'm not sure Marlon Vera is on a downhill yet. I know he lost against Corey last time out, but Corey's one of the best fighters in the division. We just saw what he did against Rob Font, right? And I think if this fight stays on the feet, which I think it will, I think Pedro is going to get hurt. I think Pedro's going to get kicked in the head. I think he's going to get kicked in the face. And I think Marlon Vera can have a very good showcase performance here. So I give out Marlon Vera for the second pick of the night.
You heard it there, guys. James, with 1% left on his phone, is giving you another pick tonight. Cheeto, Marlon Vera over Pedro Munoz. Make sure you check out Lucrative MMA at lucrativemmabetting.com. You can go to our in our bio, we'll have his link in there. You can go to his Twitter. He has picks all the time. He does picks on Dana White Contender Series, Bellator, PFL, KSW, everything. Make sure you check him out.
I give every single week, I give full card picks out for almost every fight. So I gave picks out for Dana White's Contender Series this week on my YouTube channel, and last week on my YouTube channel. And later today, in about 2 hours, I'm going to do a full card breakdown of every single fight on this card on my YouTube channel. So you can subscribe to my YouTube, Lucrative MMA Betting, and you're going to get all of my full card picks and predictions for free. And if you really want to make real money, that's when you sign up and that's when you make the real money. But if you just want to find out about me, you can go to the website or sign up to my YouTube for free stuff.
Like we said, guys, we're doing this for free, okay? We're doing this to educate the fans. We're doing this to let people know a different side of the MMA and gambling. And that's what we do here. MMA Uncensored of Lucrative MMA. We'll see you guys at the fights.
Let's go. Thank you, Chris.
All right.
Have a good day.
Thanks.